The story unfolds in a time long past, in a tranquil village known for its serenity. This village thrives in harmony, with no conflicts among its inhabitants, and commerce flows smoothly. Out of nowhere, a stranger arrives from the desolate remains of a marketplace. He reveals himself to be a once mighty ruler of a prosperous city. Tragically, his city lies in ruins, devastated by a demonic assault. Overwhelmed and desperate, he admits that all efforts to restore his city have failed. He pleads for help, offering any reward from his city's wealth to those who can turn the tide of this calamity. Elsewhere, a group of young adventurers battles within the depths of a dungeon. They are locked in combat with a formidable dragon. Observing the battle, it appears their victory is certain. Laos, the team's leader, encourages his comrades to press forward confidently. During their struggle against the dragon, however, the beast retaliates fiercely. Overcome by fatigue and hunger from their prolonged dragon battles, the team's effectiveness wanes. In the midst of the chaos, Lao's sister, Phelan, urges him to flee, fearing the worst. Amidst the confusion, Laos experiences a sudden burst of magical light from Phelan. He awakens under a tree, puzzled about his whereabouts and Phelan's safety. Marcel, an elven ally, explains their mysterious escape from the dungeon, likely due to some powerful magic, but notes Phelan's absence. Marcel informs Laos that Phelan remains in the dungeon, having used her magic to save them at her own expense. Laos resolves to return and rescue her. Chilchuk, another comrade, highlights a new problem. Two team members have deserted, lured by a wealthier party. Their party's survival depends on funds for equipment, hiring, and sustenance. With their failed mission and diminished ranks, their prospects seem grim. Hunger strikes Marcel, signaling a shift in their immediate concerns. Upon reaching a city, Marshall proposes a visit to a local pub renowned for its dumpling stew. Laos, fixated on rescuing Phelan, rejects the idea, planning to re-enter the dungeon solo, equipped with the team's collective resources. His companion's object, reminding him of their team's bond and collective strength. Convinced, Laos agrees to their company, but insists on foraging for food within the dungeon. In the dungeon, Laos suggests they hunt and consume dungeon creatures for sustenance. The team balks at the idea, citing the dangers of dungeon-derived food poisoning. Yet Laos insists, driven by his determination to save Phelan. Their first encounter is with a mushroom creature. Despite Marcel's staunch refusal to consume mushrooms, Laos, having read about dungeon survival, decides to enhance their meal with a scorpion, ignoring concerns about its venom. As they prepare the unusual meal, an elderly man intervenes, offering guidance on properly preparing the creatures and augmenting their dish with plants from a cemetery. Marcel is horrified at the prospect. Their culinary experiment is interrupted by a slime attack, leading to an educational moment about slimes, their physiology, and the proper method of cooking them, as explained by Senshi. He emphasizes the importance of neutralizing their slimy texture and thorough cleansing before cooking. After completing the slime preparation, Senshi explains that drying it under direct sunlight is essential. Alternatively, moisture can be removed by wiping the slime meat with a towel. He suggests using salt to expedite the drying process, comparing it to curing pork skin or belly. Senshi's exhaustive lecture reveals that proper drying, taking at least 2 weeks, transforms the slime into a gourmet treat. Despite the laborious drying process, Senshi reveals an ingenious device he's devised to dry slime meat on the go. This contraption allows the slime to dry as they travel, albeit adding extra weight to their load. Senshi then presents the finished product, a simple-looking, white-textured slime. With over a decade of experience in consuming monster cuisine, Senshi begins to craft this dubious dish. As Senshi meticulously slices and cooks the ingredients, including slimes and scorpions, the meal surprisingly comes together. Despite its unconventional origins, the group finds the dish unexpectedly delicious, except for Marcel, who grudgingly admits Senshi's superior culinary skills. Chilchuk marvels at the notion of finding such a delicacy in a dungeon, while the group savors their meal. After eating, Leos inquires about Senshi's identity. Senshi introduces himself, explaining that his name means researcher in Dwarvish. Leo shares his and his companions' names and roles, himself as the dependable knight, Marcel as the mage, and Chilchuk as the skilled picklock. Leos then discloses their mission, rescuing a comrade believed to be alive inside a dragon in the dungeon's lower levels. Senshi, recognizing the description of the red-scaled dragon, shares his knowledge of its habits and slow digestion, giving hope that Leos' friend might still be alive. As Leos prepares to embark on this rescue mission, Senshi volunteers to join, driven by his unique ambition to cook a red dragon. Leos, needing all the help he can get, accepts Senshi into their team. The group proceeds to the second basement level of the dungeon, the spire of the Golden Castle. Chilchuk is perplexed by the towering trees in this subterranean level, which Leos explains as an illusion or curse. Marcel, feeling hungry, suggests hunting monsters for food, but the idea of consuming rat or bat-type creatures is quickly dismissed due to sanitation concerns. Senshi then proposes an alternative, eating carnivorous plants. Despite the initial repulsion, hunger drives the group to consider this option. During the hunt, Marcel, the team's mage, gets entangled by a plant, prompting Leos to swiftly rescue her. After gathering enough plants, Senshi, the culinary maestro, crafts a delectable salty fruit tart using the gelatin from the plants. The group is once again amazed by Senshi's cooking skills, finding the tart surprisingly tasty. Concluding their lunch, they clean up and hang a corpse found during their hunt on a tree, intending to create dried food. And that was it, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the upcoming videos.